Hello, folks. This is about the Sony uh, E 16 millimeter Pancake lens. And on my Sony A7CR, I decided to take some shots and some movies with it. It's an APS-C lens. It's an f2.8, very tiny. Yes, you can manual focus with it. That's what I did last night to get better pictures. But I put it on 3 cameras. I put it on the Sony A7CR. Since it's an APS-C lens, I put it on the A6700, and I also put it on the Sony A9. Now, with the new firmware 2.0 update to the Sony A7CR, they now have dynamic active for the video, which, on the standard, it was normal, but with this type of lens, APS-C lens, you would see vignetting around the corners. If you put it on active, it kind of disappears, but it's still there. And if you put it on dynamic active, it completely disappears. So with the A7CR, when you crop it down, it's like a 24, maybe 26 megapixel camera from a 61. Okay. So I put it natively on the A6700, okay, because this is, I believe, a 33 megapixel camera. So I just wanted to show that you can have full frame vintage looks of the darkness around the photograph. If you want to add it, you just put an APS-C lens on there, and you can either have in the settings auto, or you can have it as off. And the Sony A7CR can do that. On the A9, I can, it'll show the circle and stuff. Even if I crop it, it doesn't have dynamic active on the video, so it won't go away. Even on the Sony A7CR on the camera mode, it just has on or off on the stabilization. So it's bare minimum. But anyway, let's show you that this is going on eBay for $65.44. It'll come in silver, and I think it's in black also. This is a silver version. I'll just do it this way. See a close-up shot of it. It's real nice. It's a 49 millimeter diameter for if you want to include a filter. It's a 2.8, 16 millimeter. So when you just see the E, it's basically an APS-C lens. If you see an FE, it's a full frame. So, and there's some more shots. So, I'm going to get out of this Chrome, and I'm going to show you how I can show you some videos and stuff. So with the Sony A6700, and you can watch me where I select everything in the folder, do a right mouse click, left mouse open. This should be preview. And let's take a look at some of these pictures. And what I'll do is, I'll just make it full frame. Yeah. Do it like that. Okay. There you have it. I've been taking pictures of the 16 millimeter in light conditions, no problem. And this is a native lens to the APS-C crop sensor A6700. Stabilized, top line APS-C for Sony. but look how sharp and clear these pictures are. I had it on automatic white balance. These are the new batteries I picked up for my L mount cameras. So basically Panasonic, okay? So I tried out the newer batteries. It took about 4 hours to charge, but they're doing pretty good. It came with dual battery chargers. So your Panasonic cameras that are full frame, I think the BLK 22, whatever, these will work fine. All right. I'm going to do some tests to see if they last as long as a regular battery. But let's get back to the subject. There's the the Panasonic with the 50 millimeter f1.8. There's the Canon R5 II with the 16 millimeter. I did do videos on both of those. Well, on the Z8 and ZF with the 16 millimeter, and then the the Canon R5 II with the RF 16 millimeter. And now I'm going to show you the 16 millimeter on Sony. And I do have a 16 millimeter, but it's a zoom lens. It's not a prime. So for the Leica or for the L mount Panasonic, I don't have that. But anyway, and then that's of course is the Q3. But you see, all of this is indoors with the 16 millimeter, and you can see how sharp it is natively on an APS-C camera. This is 33 megapixels, just like the A7C II, which is a full frame. This is the Sony A6700. So you press escape, you get out of here, close this. I'm now going to go to the A9, which is one of my favorite cameras. I picked it up for $1,400 used. I'm going to make it full screen. Now you can see the vignetting, okay? So even on this camera, and you can see a little distortion, okay? It goes out instead of in. And it all depends on the way you're holding the camera too. But you can see where I had it in full frame mode, and you can see the heavy vignetting. Now, I put it in 16 by 9. I put it in crop mode, and then I also put it in full frame mode, which is 3 by 2. And as you can see, the pictures are sharp. And if I do a Command I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. So this is in crop mode. You see no vignetting, okay? It's not 16 by 9. It's in crop mode. Same thing here. So it's like a 24 millimeter length and 35. Now, this is 16 millimeter, and this is also crop mode. So you can see how clear and sharp the pictures are. F2.8 is great indoors. Look how sharp these pictures are. So even with an A9, which was a 24 megapixel camera, these pictures are now cropped, so they're like maybe 10 megapixels. That's still sharp. Okay. Just wanted to show you how sharp it is. And this is in APS-C mode. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? And by the way, I had this in shutter priority mode because it works best. I can get the deep blacks and stuff. Auto mode, well, I mean, program mode and aperture priority. This wasn't doing it. Manual is a little bit more difficult, so I just put it in shutter priority and the pictures came out fine, as you can see. So that's 2 down. I'm going to close this if I get my mouse over here. So last but not least is the Sony A7CR. Yeah, I'm just going to do full frame. Okay. So this is in the full frame mode. You can see the vignetting. Very dark. But the pictures don't look bad. I don't see much noise. I mean, in the dark, if you can see shadows with the light, that's pretty good. And this is a 61 megapixel camera. So you see, full frame, crop, no vignetting, but a little bit more noise because it's less megapixels. Usually it's the other way around, but when you crop, it's not the full sensor, it's partial sensor. So you get more noise. That's the only difference between an APS-C camera and a full frame. When you crop it, you will get more noise. And you can see it, depending on light, it'll brighten up or it'll dark. I think I use program mode on the Sony A7CR. So you're looking for any distortion and stuff. Most 16 millimeters do have distortion, where they're either going like this or outwards. But you see, with the lights off, it's still pretty clear. And this is a small Pancake. Now, at nighttime, I was shooting in manual mode because it couldn't focus. So you put it in manual mode, and I got most of the shots. See, now I went back to full frame, and you can see the vignetting on the Sony A7CR. And if I crop in here, now you can see more noise, but still, that's a sharp picture. And you see, this is full frame mode. It's tiny, 16 millimeters. It's pretty far away, but look how sharp it is. So I can get the house. I can get the cranes in a hospital. And then, of course, I went to the backyard, whole different look, a little bit closer. But this is in crop mode. This was in full frame mode. So crop brings it closer 1.5 times with less megapixels, so you see more noise. So I'm going to do that, close that. In fact, I'm going to show you 3 videos, and hopefully this will work. Okay, Dynamic active stabilization on a Sony a7CR. (16mm) APS-C lens. So I'm going to walk. Okay. So I wanted to show you in slow and quick on when you put in this mode, you don't hear a sound, but you can see the fan blowing. I wanted to show you that also. And I'm going to put it like that. I might make it a little bit larger. There we go. Something like that. For my ending picture. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So, you can do many things with different lenses. I got adapters. I've used Sony lenses on Nikon, Nikon F mount on Sony. Same thing with the L mount. You can swap lenses with different adapters. Canon, you can do some things. I have an adapter for a Canon film lens, a 15mm f1.4, and I can use it on all my camera systems with that adapter. Of course, it's manual focus, but still, it's a great lens. I just want to show you that with 16mm, there are some obstacles of, some distortion and stuff in way of you're holding your camera. An f2.8 is not very good, and Pancake lenses aren't that sharp, but I can show you that they are sharp if you have the right lighting conditions. So anyway, thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Bye, folks. Have a wonderful day.